All right, we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you everybody for joining us today. We're really excited to have so many of you from our community of TDNet users and admins here today. My name is Dana Giddings. I'm a marketing manager here at TDNet, and I'm joined by my colleague Doug Madigan, who's going to be our main presenter today. This is the first of a new webinar series on TDNet platform updates and enhancements. We're excited to dive in, but before we do so, I want to let you know just a few kind of housekeeping things before we do so. First of all, we're recording today's session, and this recording will be available after the live webinar concludes. There is a Q&A button that you can use at the bottom of your screen to submit questions throughout the webinar. And we're going to have, towards the end of the webinar, a dedicated Q&A segment so that we can answer as many of these as we have time for. And if there's anything that we aren't able to address live, we're going to follow up with you via email to answer those questions. But we'll try to get to as many things as we can live. There's also a chat feature where you can send any technical issues or comments. But if you have any questions that you'd like us to pose during the Q&A segment, please do use the Q&A widget for that. And then lastly, all attendees are muted by default, but if we call on you during the Q&A to ask your question live or something, you'll see a notification that asks you if you'd like to unmute yourself, and you can click unmute now, and that'll enable you to do so. All right, now I'll hand it over to my colleague, Sales Manager Doug Madigan, who's going to demo for you what we have recently added and enhanced in TDNet, and how you can implement features like AI search and personalization, as well as make sure your users can access and make the best use of these features. Thank you. So Doug will take it from here.
Thank you, Dana. I'm going to share my screen. Glad to be here, everybody. Thank you so much. A little bit about me. My name is Doug Madigan. I am the sales manager for TDNet. I've been with TDNet for about 10 years. I've been working either in or with libraries pretty much my entire adult life. I'm really glad to be here. I'm sure that many of you know me. Those of you that don't, I'm glad to get the opportunity to speak with you today. I do want to point out that probably we are not going to be able to cover every single new feature, addition, integration, etc. during this session today. I've kind of just sort of cherry-picked the ones that I think are most useful or needed to be called out to the customer base, because I see items that aren't really getting utilized, those sorts of things. But if we do run out of time, I do want to urge you to if you have more questions or want to implement some of these things, reach out to your account manager. It might be me, it might be Paul Cuomo, it could be one of the international account managers. But if you do have more questions, please reach out to us directly. You can also, of course, always reach out to the support team at support@tdnet.com, and they will be glad to help you as well. So that's pretty much what I am going to go through today. We're going to look at not only features that we have added to the TDNet Discover feature set, but also we're going to look at new product integrations and new product offerings that we have as well. So I'm going to just go ahead here and dive in. What you are looking at today is my demonstration database. So this is my demo system that I have set up for myself. This may look similar to yours. It may look completely different depending upon what features and choices you've made in your implementation. But I'm going to point out a few things and just go run through the portal here and talk about some of the new features that we have added over the last probably a year, maybe some of them even 2 years now, but I think that they're worth noting because not everyone has implemented them. So if we start out here at the top of the screen here, you'll see where I have the search box and it says discover, do research on a topic. You'll note that I've got a number of tabs here. This is one of the features we added some time ago, but it is called the tabs container. It's really nice for controlling screen real estate, because you can kind of, in this case, what I've done with the tabs is put all of the things I might want to search under tabs so that I just have one search box and I can go across all things. So I can do my Discover search here, but if I want to go to library resources and see the A to Z list, I've broken it down by journals, books, and databases, or all together. Any of these can be set up quite easily using this tabbed container. A couple of other things that I think are really important here that I do want to point out. One of the things that I have set up here is a search by DOI or PubMed ID. This is actually coming from the citation matcher, and I can also just easily go to the full citation matcher from here if I want to, but certainly users want the capability to search by DOI or PubMed ID. Making that available to them through the tabbed search is kind of a nice way of making this easily accessible to your users. You'll also notice one of my tabs here is for PubMed. This one is utilizing the external search widget. So really what you do with this tabbed container is you just add widgets to it. This was a Discover search widget. This is a library e-resources search widget. This was the citation matcher widget, and this was the external search widget. There I set up, I just put in my URL for my PubMed with my OTool link in it, and it'll search PubMed directly showing my holdings. The last item I've got in the tabs here is DataSphere. DataSphere is actually an entirely new product offering that we have at TDNet. It is an institutional repository product, and we have seen quite good adoption of this new product so far. If you're not familiar with it, it allows you to do things like, of course, set up a listing of all of your institutional authors' works, for instance. That's kind of a common one. The sites like to show off the research that they're doing. You can set up a public site, the public can search it, it'll track downloads and all of that. I can show you an example of a public site here. If I go ahead and open this up in a new tab, just sort of, this is an example of what a DataSphere repository opening page might look like. You'll see here I've got a number of different repositories actually, broken up by osteopathic medicine, occupational therapy, physical therapy, etc., the programs that this particular school offered. This is really nice for not only, as I said, highlighting the research that your institution does, but oftentimes there might be other items that you have that you want to make discoverable. These might be internal documents. I know we've got lots of hospitals that are utilizing the repository product for providing access to some of those departmental documents. I know we've got nursing departments that are utilizing the repository to put in their own guidelines and things like that. The repository will take any type of item. So, we have a bunch of customers that have utilized this and shown posters that they've created. We also have customers that are utilizing this for collections of videos or for collections of photographs. So there's lots of opportunities for utilizing the DataSphere repository in conjunction with your TDNet Discover system. So I'll talk probably a little bit more about DataSphere as we move along, but just wanted to point that out. And as I said, I wanted to point out this tabbed container, which is really nice for kind of organizing all of one type of action in a place. Now, somewhat similar to that is another container that we've created that's called the accordion container. That's the one that you see below here when I'm mousing over where it says popular resources. This is kind of similar to the tabs, but instead it uses an accordion feature where you can do highlight other items and not use up so much screen real estate. So this is particularly nice if you're trying to highlight resources. And as you can see here, I've just done a few things. And then if I click on the accordion, I can show the corresponding resources. So another nice container widget that we have added for all users so that you can better utilize your screen real estate and make a real nice looking platform for your customers. So that was another one of the new types of widgets that we have added. If you look now over on the right-hand side of the screen here, where I've got the latest ABOG readings, this is another new widget that we've added. This one is called the folder viewer. And that one is particularly of interest because, it allows you to actually utilize the TDNet Discover file explorer. And if you want to have documents there or what have you, you can then easily make those available to your users. And I pulled a few of the latest ABOG readings and put up the PDFs here for them, and it makes it very easy for your users to be able to access these items and then read them. I'm sure there's many other uses that you can think of for this sort of a file viewer or folder viewer widget, but the ABOG readings immediately came to mind to me for a great way of utilizing this and making these available easily to your users. So again, this is just really looking at files that you've uploaded to the TDNet Discover File Explorer, and we can look at that on the back end later if we have time. So I wanted to point out those new widgets in particular. If we scroll down a bit here on the right, you will also notice this widget here that I'm hovering over. It's got a contact us button. This is called the call out widget. It allows you to put an image behind text and also have call to action buttons. So you might use this if you're trying to get users to sign up for something, or in this case, I've just done it as a contact us. You can have a little picture of the library or what have you. It's just another way of kind of doing a visually appealing widget that calls to action something for your users, makes it clear maybe you have some new resource or something like that. So I did want to point that out as well. That is yet another new widget type that we have added. Of course, if we scroll down here, you can see the many standard widgets also that we've been using for some time now. We've got the cover carousels. I know many of you are using these. These cover carousels have had many features added to them, where now you can have it automatically show the most popular items, for instance. Lots of new ways of uploading to these carousels easily as well. So we continue to add new features to the existing widgets and other product parts that we have as well. Over here on the left, you might note we've got one of the survey widgets, just an example there. Occasionally you might want to use these to solicit feedback from your users. In the middle here, you can see I'm utilizing our calendar widget for showing off training that the library is doing. All of these widgets are available to everyone. Over here on the left, you can see where it says what's trending at the library. This actually takes a look at the usage from your system and what documents your users are retrieving to show kind of what's going on in terms of research at your institution. Scroll down a little further here. I can have a search request form. You can build as many forms as you want. Here is another container type widget. This one here, right now that's a pink sheet, and then it goes to data monitor and script. This one just will rotate items through. So in this case, I had a number of different RSS feeds, and I set up a timer for it to rotate those might be a way again to, instead of having to have a million of them, utilize less screen real estate while still making those items available to your users. Few other things to point out here. That also you have the ability to oh, one thing I want to really point out here is you'll also notice up at the top, we have now changed some of the account and profile stuff. We're trying to modernize the whole interface. So now, of course, if the user is logged in, it shows their initials here. You can even change the color of this if you want to. When I click on this icon, one of the things that, just a second. Back up there. I will get a subset of things that I can do. Now I'm an administrator, so I can go to the admin panel here, make changes, etc., etc. So just kind of a nice little quick feature here, making it easy for me as an administrative user to be able to access the items that I want to quickly change. Just talking about this, another thing I want to mention, this isn't really so much a new feature. It's something we've had for quite some time, but I think it's very useful to our customers. And we do have more and more that we have implemented this with. One thing that you may want to consider is if you have not yet connected your TDNet Discover system up to your local single sign-on system, you may want to do so. This really ensures the best security. So if your IT team is concerned about that, you've really got it covered there because you're doing a connection to their single sign-on system between TDNet and that single sign-on system via SAML, which is extraordinarily secure. The other part, of course, that's really useful there is then you actually have all of your users just getting loaded in here as individual users. They don't have to remember another password or user ID because they're using your network credentials to log in, just like they do every morning. They then automatically get logged into TDNet, and then they can utilize the personalization features as well, so that they can do things like save searches, set up alerts, table of contents alerts, search alerts, all of those sorts of things. The added kind of benefits and power searching capabilities that we have made available for the users. So I would definitely urge you, if you have the ability to do this, to take advantage of it. It doesn't take very long for us to do. We have a document that tells your IT team what they need on their end, and generally it takes like about 20 minutes and we get it set up. So just something to bear in mind there, but I think it's something that's really, really worthwhile for all of our TDNet Discover customers. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do a search now. You'll notice it shows some of the searches I've done in the past here as well. I'm just going to do a quick search for rheumatoid arthritis. And I do this, there's a few things that I'm going to want to point out here as well. Just talking about additional new features that we've added that you may not have incorporated into your own TDNet Discover system yet. A couple of things. So you see here that we get back all of our results. A few new things that we have added over time, I guess. We have for quite some time had numerous knowledge graphs. So if you look over on the right here where it says rheumatoid arthritis from BMJ best practice, we have a lot of these different knowledge graphs from third-party database providers in particular. These are all available in the marketplace in admin. So if you subscribe to any of these, you can add them in and you'll get some added benefits. So this one, for instance, goes ahead, tells me a little bit about RA, and then I can jump out to BMJ best practice to get some of the get the full details or more information. So like I said, we've got other ones of these from various Clarivate products. Some people even do Wikipedia, but there's a bunch of these knowledge graphs definitely worth looking at because it's often very useful information for your users. So I did want to point that out. I wanted to point out that we now have search suggestions available. This is a really nice tool as well. When I go ahead and do a search, the system will suggest some other searches that I might want to do as well. This is really a nice feature for your end users. What are they going to do? They're going to put in one or two terms, just like I did, rheumatoid arthritis. But when you make some suggestions to them, this might help them formulate slightly better searches and get back better results. So I wanted to point that out. That is a new feature that you can easily have added here as well. And then we are also getting some results from library e-resources related to rheumatoid arthritis here. That is from the library e-resources featured snippet in this case. Featured snippets are any resource we wanted to look at that we might have wanted to pull out even separate from the index. So for instance, of course, one of the sources we have in the index is Science Direct. If I scroll down a ways here, I can embed within the results a featured snippet as well. So I put in a little featured snippet from Science Direct here in the middle of my results. Just in case you want to call that out, or if you wanted to call out the results from Medline, you could do the same thing. These are called featured snippets. So that's another feature that you can easily enable in for your TDNet Discover results screen. A few other things that I want to point out here. This is one that we've just recently added. We have added the ability to actually translate the results. There are some settings behind this, but in my fictional library, I have a lot of Spanish speakers, okay? And so they're native Spanish speakers. English is their second language. They're more comfortable with Spanish. So I've set up the translate feature here. And I can do it either on a single one, but you'll see how it really nicely, in this case, translated this to Spanish. And if I want to see the whole thing, it does actually translate the entire abstract here. So that's really kind of nice. Or I could have said translate all. And if I do that, then as we go through, you'll see every one of these results has been translated into Spanish. So this is really a new feature that's kind of nice in terms of making the search capabilities for your users that might use different languages a little bit easier. Now, of course, do bear in mind, this is not changing the source document. So it isn't all of a sudden making the full text in a different language as well. But it is making the discovery process and the research process much easier by allowing the user to be able to translate it into their most comfortable language if desired. So I wanted to point that out as well. Okay, let's go ahead and look at a few more things that I wanted to point out here. There are a variety of services that you can make available through your TDNet Discover system in the results screen as well. So for instance, of course, we've always kind of got the button for view full text, or if you don't have it, getting it some other way. But one of the services I've added is the table of contents service. So that allows me to see the table of contents for that particular journal, for that issue, or any other issue I want to. So that's really kind of a nice feature. You'll notice, however, also I've got the ability to sign up for a journal alert that will actually, and in this case, once I click on it, it then changes to say remove journal alert. What this does is it allows, or it sets up an alert system to email the user whenever a new table of contents has been published for that particular journal. It will send that TOC to me with links to the full text. So really nice table of contents alert system available for your users. I know we have some customers that are utilizing this, but it is not very highly utilized. And this used to be a really popular service. So I encourage you to think about implementing this for your customers. Another service we have here is the view similar articles. This will give me a listing of articles similar to this one, utilizing the metadata from this article to reintroduce a search and show some other articles that might be related. This is kind of similar to the old show similar articles capability that used to be in PubMed, for instance. You'll also note we have a variety of different badges available. So you have the altmetric badge. That one shows all of the altmetric factors, attention factor, impact factor, where it's being shared and utilized. There's also one that's the Simago journal score. This one, you can also see more information in terms of, maybe hover over these, it'll explain what these items do, what the index score is, and the category. These are just basically, in terms of the impact of that particular journal. So I wanted to point that out as well. Not quite sure, how much your users are going to use that, but that is certainly a very valuable tool for the librarians. And we have added more functionality in library e-resources around those badges as well. I'll touch on that a bit later. A couple of other things I want to point out here in this display that we have added as new include various icons here showing whether this is open access or not, whether the item is peer reviewed, and then the item type. So those are kind of nice features as well. Just wanted to point that out. A couple of other things I want to point out from this results screen, things that are new that you may not have seen before. One of the things I talked about was the ability to very quickly and easily build an articles repository using our DataSphere repository system if you choose to purchase that. I can then go ahead, select articles from my search. So really, I might do like an affiliation search if I'm looking for institutional authors and just select all. But either way, there's a quick and easy means now to export any articles from my Discover search to my repository. I simply select them, and then when I say export to repository, it's going to ask me which one of my repositories I want to export it to, whether I want it to go in as published or draft, all of that stuff. So that's a really nice new feature for building up your institutional repository. Definitely you're going to want to take advantage of that. Of course, as I've marked these items, you've always had the ability to export those results out to your favorite bibliographic management tool or in a different format. Don't forget to take advantage of those capabilities as well, or to mail results to your users along with links to the full text. So those capabilities are definitely still all there. Really, really important. And then the other thing that we've had that's been there for a while, but you can change, is the ability to bookmark these items. And if I click on the little star there, what that does is it adds that item to my bookmarks. And if I go down here, I can add more items. And now if I go to my bookmarks, now you will notice that I can go ahead and take these items and I can then move them to one of my folders. So maybe I want to put them into rheumatoid arthritis. It will move those to there. One of the things that we have done with these folders, this is a new feature, but it only comes with certain packages. So in some cases, this could incur an extra cost. Just want to let you know that. But this is a really cool feature, is now I can go ahead with these folders. I can select to now share these folders with other users. So if you're working as part of a work group or something like that, I can go ahead and share these. I can add people to this. And if I start typing in initials, it'll start pulling out the users from my list of users, and I can just say who I want to share this to. I can say whether I want to share it as a read-only or whether I want to allow them to add to this list. I can put in any notes, and then this will share my list with others, and it will also notify them that I am sharing them and whatever the note is. And you'll also notice that, well, I currently have none shared with me, but other people can share their folders with me as well. So this is really a nice kind of collaboration feature if you want to, in terms of, well, I don't know, building up reading lists or what have you. Lots and lots of different options here, but kind of a really nice feature for managing these bookmarks, collaborating with other researchers, and sharing your research. Okay. All right, we're going to go back home here. And now a couple of other things that I want to point out, some new features that we've added. One of the things that we added sometime last year, I think, was the My Searches feature. This is really, really nice. If I click on this, as a user, now I'm logged in, it'll allow me to say whether I want to maintain my search history or not. And you can see I have mine turned on. If I want to turn this off, I can just click off and it won't maintain my search history anymore, but I like keeping my search history. You can see I do some of the same searches over and over again. This is really nice though. If you look here at the search history, you see all of the searches that I have done, and this will go into pages and pages if you want to, depending on how many searches. You can see I've been maintaining my history for a long time. A few things to point out here on these searches. I can go ahead and combine search terms. So I could do, this wouldn't make any sense, but I could do these two searches and combine them with and or and go ahead and see what results I would have. So that's kind of nice. I also have the ability here to set up alerts. So if I want this, the system to automatically rerun the search on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis, and then email me with the new results, I can do that as well. Back in the old days, we called these SDIs. But that's really nice as well. So I just wanted to point that out. This also goes ahead and allows me to re-execute these searches at later times. So let's go ahead and do another search now. Actually, I think I want to do a different search, but I'm going to do a different one. This is a good one, but enough of the rheumatoid arthritis. Just let me go back to my searches for a second. Let's go with what is the global prevalence of sickle cell disease? Okay, one of the really exciting new features that we've added in the last few months is, actually now it's, I guess, over half a year, is what we call the TDNet AI suite. And a big part of the TDNet AI suite is the ability to do natural language processing utilizing a semantic search. So what does that mean? Well, for one thing, it means that as a user, I can actually, type in a search just kind of using natural language. So like this case, what is the global prevalence of sickle cell disease? This is actually one that I pulled off of the MedLib as a reference question. Couldn't find results in PubMed. Our new powerful semantic search goes kind of above and beyond what traditional keyword searching could do, no matter how well you refined it. Because it looks using large language models, it looks at how we utilize language and then how the terms are related to get to the actual meanings of the terms and then bring back the best possible results. And so if you have TDNet AI, when I do a search of more than 2 terms, it is going to attempt to do the semantic search as well as the keyword search. The semantic search can then bring back up to the top 10 results, which is what I have mine set at. They are all designated by this little AI symbol. That being said, once we get beyond that, when there is no longer the AI symbol, we start getting back the results from the keyword search. So you haven't lost any of the keyword search capabilities. Those are still there, but the semantic search has automatically brought back the best results for me. You'll note here, we also, as part of the AI suite, have included the ability to summarize those findings. Oops, wait for a second here. And if I click on summarize, this will use generative AI to build a summary of those results. And you'll notice as it does this, that it goes ahead and actually then footnotes to the applicable citations as well. So this is a really powerful tool. The search results are just absolutely fabulous. And, I would really urge you, if you have not yet tried this out, do so. There is a free trial, a free 90-day trial available. Everybody should try this. You can have the trial set up so it's only for administrators if you want, if you're not willing to set this loose on your users yet. But do please try this out, because it is certainly a really wonderful tool, and I think would add, real great functionality for your end users. And I mean, if you look at these results, they are really, truly the best results. It's really kind of talking about the prevalence across areas of sickle cell disease. And my summary tells me kind of where the most is and all of that. Just answering my question. I can then go ahead and, if I want to, select the items. So maybe I did all 10 of those ones, and then also copy this summary and then decide to mail it and paste it into the message as I'm doing this literature search for one of my users. So really kind of making a quick and easy means of being able to respond to your users with kind of a really nice summary of the results, and then links to the full text for all of the citations as well. So that's a really, really powerful tool. Now, we're going to just take a quick break from there, and I am going to jump to the admin panel. Just bear with me for a second here. Got two-factor authentication. So when we go to the admin panel, so I was talking about all of these new features and functions. How can you go ahead and set them up yourself if you want to? Well, if you go to admin under the TDNet Discover heading, you will see a couple of things that I think are really, really important here. You're going to see Marketplace, And if I click on Marketplace, what this does is it shows all of the integrations, third-party integrations, and add-on features that you can add to your TDNet system. It starts off with the installed ones, the ones that I have added into my system. And then you can also see other ones that are available. Now, one of these that I just added in, or have added in, of course, is the TDNet AI. If you have not tried this out yet, if you go into Admin to Marketplace, TDNet AI will be under the available integrations, and you simply click on it and you can enable the trial yourself. If you do not want to do that, but want it turned on to try it out, and want us to assist with that, you can reach out to support and they'll be glad to set that up for you as well. But you can do it yourself. I do wanted to point out all of the wonderful integrations. You can see all of the ones that I have turned on here. These are all free, or they're noted as add-ons if there's an additional cost. But you can see all of the integrations that I currently have turned on, plus lots of other ones that are available that I haven't turned on yet. Some of these require subscriptions to third-party products, but if you have that subscription, there is no additional cost to TDNet. So this is really a nice way to kind of enhance your system and bring together all of those products that you pay for into one place where they all work together. So this is really nice. And we've added a lot of nice stuff. Retraction watch, I know, is one that's very interesting to a lot of users. So lots of good ones here. Do take a look at that. The other thing I wanted to point out is what's new. That's underneath Marketplace. This lists all of the newest features that we have added. So you'll actually see a red dot next to it if you haven't looked at it recently, letting you know that we've added new things. We update this, and then if you want to see all of our changes, you can click on See All Changes, and this will bring up the change log, and you can see all of the changes that we've made over time to the system, and we continue to update this. So that's also, I think, really worthwhile in terms of taking a look at occasionally, just to keep yourself up to date on all of the new features that we're adding to TDNet. One of the things that we really try to do is continually do development on the system. So we're often adding items on a weekly basis that are new features. This is a good way for you as a customer to keep up to date on that and be aware of all of the new features that are available. Okay, a few more things I want to touch on. Let's go back to results here. Another new capability we've added. Of course, over on the left, we have always had our filters over here, your ability to facet or filter down the search results. We've always had these ones that came from the publication data, like the ability to limit by date or our date range, by publication type and document type, or subject or language. All of these have been available for some time. You can control the order they appear in and all of that. But recently, when we started doing our work on AI, one of the side effects of this, and this is available for all customers, whether you have the AI suite or not, is the ability to also add on these biomedical facets. As I said, using the large language models and named entity recognition, we're able to kind of find some relationships to lots of these items and actually do some facets that aren't coming from like publisher metadata, but rather from the the data itself and utilizing that so that I can do filters like on individual amino acids or individual genes. These are really powerful facet capabilities. So, and we've got numerous different ones. I think there's 10 different categories of these biomedical facets. I know many of our customers are in the biomedical field. These might very well be quite useful for you, again, to try to get to better results. One of the things that we're really doing with TDNet Discover is boosting up the search capabilities. I mean, between what we've done with all of these facets and with the AI-powered search and semantic search, we have made this a really, really powerful search tool. And, you know, this is designed to be for your end users, but also the librarians are going to get more and more value from this because we've made it powerful now. And, you know, so please take advantage of some of these capabilities because they really are important. Just a couple more things I wanted to point out. Let's go ahead. Go back home here. Oh, actually, I just wanted to mention, of course, we always still have advanced search available here. The advanced search allows me to search also down to the field level, combine terms using and or not. This builder will build out the search term. I'm sure many of you are already familiar with that, but I just want to point that out just in case. All right, now I wanted to go to one of my A to Z lists. Let's just go to the journals list. I'm just going to browse all, but I can do a search or what have you. Regardless of how I have done this, we have added a number of new features to Library e-resources as well. So I wanted to point those out also. One of the things that I mentioned was, of course, you can have these badges appearing here. This is the Journal Impact Factor badge. One of the things that we have now added not only is the ability to show these badges here in your A to Z list, but we've also allowed the ability to sort by that. So now you have new sort capabilities, not only to sort your results alphabetically, but you can also sort by popularity. This is going to look at the usage statistics. So it would sort my journals by the most highly used for first, or by the SJR ranking. And if I do that, then it will show me all of the journals that I have in ranking order. So, you know, this is kind of nice if you're trying to know which journals are most impactful. Just even showing this sort capability and being able to, you know, show this off makes it kind of nice and easy to be able to explain to the user what this impact factor thing really is and kind of the importance of that as you're working with your users. So really, really nice feature there. Other features that we have added here, of course, are the journal alert capability, the table of contents, the ability to search just within that journal. All those capabilities have been there for some time. You'll also notice here, we've recently added a notation whether or not these journals are peer-reviewed. That should be very important to you as well, and kind of goes into the importance of talking about the impact of the journal and the importance of the journal and, you know, predatory journals or whatever discussions you have to have with your users about what's good practices. The last thing I wanted to point out here, this is super important as well. Everything in the A to Z list, journals, books, databases, they all have these permalinks. This is really nice. If you copy this, this will give you a permalink that always runs through our resolver. You can be guaranteed it will always work to get to that specific journal or book or what have you. So I wanted to point that out as well. Obviously, I could cover more stuff, but I do recognize that we are kind of getting close to the end of our time here as well. And so perhaps now would be a good time to open things up for questions. It also looks like we've got a number of questions already in the Q&A.
Yeah. So we've had a lot of great questions come in. Doug, if you want, I've been looking through them and answering a few of them. And I can go through some of the great questions that have come in and answer a few of them myself. And then there are a few of them where you can point us to, because you're demoing where things are in the platform. We did have a couple of people asked when they can expect the enhancements to the AI summarize feature so that it only selects or summarizes selected papers rather than the top 10 most relevant. And we are expecting to release that new feature by the end of May and perhaps sooner. And Helen Ann had a great follow-up question to that. She wanted to know if she does a semantic search and then goes to advanced to put words in particular fields. Is that possible? Or to do an advanced search with a phrase in the title, it will still summarize.
I'd have to play around with a little. Let me get back to her. I haven't gone that
Okay.
far myself.
Yeah, we'll follow up with you, Helen Ann, on that. And then we also had a couple people ask how many languages are available for the language translation feature. And there are currently 114 languages supported there. So almost every language on the planet is supported. It's broadly translatable there. Let's see, we had a question about whether it'd be possible to eliminate the duplicates in the search results or to mark them so that the user is aware of them.
Well, we try to eliminate the duplicates the best we can on the fly by the system. There may occasionally be something that gets in there that for whatever reason does not get caught as a duplicate, probably because of I don't know, lack of an identifier in one of them or something like that. But for the most part, we are trying to eliminate the duplicates on the fly. The software does it automatically. I see a question. How do we set up a table of contents on the discovery page? Again, if you go to Marketplace, table of contents is one of the options. So if you go to admin and then Marketplace, under the available integrations, you will see there's an integration option for table of contents. And if you select that and add that, you can add it to your Discover results, as well as to the library e-resources A to Z list results.
And I think that was the other question Elisa had about, can we default in the A to Z list to show journals by popular?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know, but if not, that's something that we can easily get development to do. I don't know if they've got it set up by if you can do a default or if you just have to change it, but we can make it so there's a default. So if it isn't, that's something really easy for development. So good good question, and maybe a good enhancement suggestion. Thank you.
Yeah. Let's see. Other than that, there was one question about the ability to have public-facing pages in TDNet Datasphere, which is now possible. You have the option to showcase work in an open access public-facing repository. And I thought I just saw one more question. Let's see. Nope, I think I'm imagining it. Let's see. I think we've answered everything that's come in so far, but we can leave another minute or so if anything comes up. People want to raise their hand or put another question.
Yeah, if they even actually want to talk out loud, I'll talk to them.
Yeah. Feel free to use the hand raising feature and I can allow anyone to talk if they would like.
Otherwise, I do want to encourage everyone to, hopefully this was helpful. I tried to kind of point out a lot of things that I see just kind of from looking at customer sites and stuff like this that I think people have missed or, might be useful, please do take advantage of these features. You're paying for them. Add them in. Contact us. We'll be glad to help. So we don't want this to be all put on you. If you can't remember how to do it or something like that, reach out to support and say, I sat in on this webinar. I want to add this. Will you do it for me? They'll be glad to do it. Our support team loves to work with you. We're really lucky to have a great support team. I actually want to shout them out a little bit right now because they have been doing really, really a great job. I'm sure that many of you customers have noticed that we also have been bolstering up that support team and adding new members. We do have a new full-time person in the United States now as well. So we've really got you covered around the clock. That's I just want to call them out because they do a great job.
Yeah.
And I do want to thank all of you for attending today. We really appreciate your business and hope that this was a helpful session. And we look forward to continuing to work with you. And I hope that this generates a lot of emails and phone calls to me and to the rest of the staff here at TDNet. So
Yeah, and Doug, we do have one raised hand from Elisa, so we can go ahead and allow to talk. You'll probably get a pop-up that you have to accept.
Thank you. I accepted it. I want to say that this has been really helpful, Doug, for me. I mean, I don't really have time to go through all the what's new all the time, but to put it all together like this has been really helpful. And I hope you guys do this. I don't know. I think I must have missed it when you've done it before, but I'm hoping you do it like quarterly or even twice a year or something, because you guys are constantly building more. And you're right. Your support team is stellar. They really are stellar, but it's really nice to know this kind of stuff comes from you too, to see it in action. So I appreciate you guys doing this, and I will definitely attend next time as well.
Well, thank you. We do intend to make this a kind of a regular occurrence now. So we've kind of done it haphazardly in the past, but like you say, Elisa, this is definitely it's just impossible to keep track of all those new things. So this is a good way of doing it. Thank you for that suggestion. Thanks for the great feedback.
Yeah, thank you so much. I don't see any further questions for now, but if any questions do come up, you can reach out to your sales rep for clarification or for help or to support. We're looking forward to having more of these webinars in the future, and really happy that you all took the time out of your day-to-day to come join us and see how you can make best use of these features and make sure your users are able to take advantage of them. All right.
Wonderful. Thank you all.
Thanks, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your week.